Good morning, Golden Cave.
Good morning.
We got quite a lineup today, so Roberta Williams is going to lead us in God Bless America, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the Kiwanis Pledge. And we got John Baird on the keys, and Kathy Seebach will do the invocation.
As our country's flag signifies purity, valor, and justice, may we as true Kiwanians exemplify these virtues as we serve the children of the world. Please remain standing.
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, we stand before you with hands, minds, and hearts that you gave us. Help us to use our hands for service through the work of our club. Help our minds to understand the best ways to help children less fortunate, and let us make someone's day happier by doing a kindness not expected. We ask you to watch over all of our members, provide healing for those who are sick and unable to be here today. Bless us all as we approach this coming week, and we ask this in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Tom. Good morning, Golden K.
Good morning.
It's my pleasure this morning to introduce, we have two excellent speakers. Our first speaker is Chris Ellis. He's a managing partner and founding member of Bolin, Robinson, Ellis, LLP, where he has litigated complex cases in state and federal courts across the country. Chris is also deeply committed to community service. He currently serves as the board president of Old Kings Orchard Community Center and has previously led the United Way of Mid-Illinois and the St. Mary's Hospital Foundation. He also has been active coaching youth sports in Mount Zion. Chris earned his degrees from Illinois Wesleyan University and Georgetown Law, and he and his wife Kelly had 3 children. Our second speaker is Devon Joyner, a lifelong Decatur native and a 1988 graduate of MacArthur High School. Devon is a U.S. Army veteran who served in field artillery during the Gulf War, Operation Desert Shield, and Storm. After returning home, Devon worked in a variety of jobs, including Firestone, Illinois Power, AutoZone, ADM, and was a small business owner. He is a proud father of 4 and grandfather of 5, and during a period of raising his sons on his own, his home became a safe place for many young people in our community. Through mentoring, coaching, and teaching life skills, Devon developed a strong belief in rebuilding the village mindset, making sure young people know someone has their back. He continues that work today at OKO, focused on community growth and development. They will speak on Old King Orchard Community Center, breaking the cycle, building opportunity, work, and peace. Let's give a big Golden K welcome to the Devon.
Good morning. I'm Chris. Mark, thank you. Thank you for having us this morning. I'm going to talk first a little bit about my role as the board president at Old Kings Orchard Community Center, and then turn it over to Devon. I'm going to watch my time. He's the one who is doing the actual hard work in the field with his team. I thought it was important, though, that I talk to you because I think, like a lot of you, it's probably, we're all trying to figure out what is it we need to do and what can we do to try to get things going in the direction that we need this community to go with our youth. And at Old Kings Orchard, why I'm so passionate about it is the primary population that we work with are, quite frankly, those young people, teens, young adults that otherwise are not being serviced in the community. They are often young individuals who've had interactions with law enforcement. They've not been able to stay and succeed in school. They find themselves then with little opportunities for work or advancement. And we all know where that is going to eventually lead. And unfortunately, it is all too common. So we pride ourselves on the fact that a person who might not be able to go to the Boys and Girls Club or to Skywalker Gym or even to the Salvation Army, we want them at Old Kings Orchard. If a young person is expelled from one of our public high schools for behavior, for truancy, for any litany of reasons, we want them at Old Kings Orchard because the bottom line is those young people are going to be in our streets and they're going to be having children, and if we don't get them before it's too late, then what we're seeing is going to continue. So what we've done is we've kind of looked at the community at large that we're serving, and we're trying to look at how can we really break this cycle. Our mission, I mean, I can sum it up. We've got a big mission statement like all organizations, but we believe in a hand up, not a handout. And that doesn't mean that, we don't provide food. We have a monthly food distribution day. It doesn't mean we don't help people when they're in need of certain life necessities, but the bottom line is to be part of our programming, you have to be actively moving to better yourself in the community. And we have had a very strong relationship with the state's attorney's office, with the Decatur police officers, and we actually have referrals that come from the probation department. And we now have it with our local court system where part of the probation of these young people, rather than going to juvenile hall where they will serve their time, they will come back, we get a chance, right? We get to enroll them in our programming. So, you might say, well, how are you going to get them engaged? Well, they don't have a lot of options. But once we get them, we can make real change. So looking at the programming, we put a lot of work into what is it exactly that we're trying to do. How are we going to fix it? And we come down in our programming that we have to focus on education and work in order to have peace. And education twice, or why not? I mean, I don't think that's supposed to be there, but it doesn't hurt to be educated more than once. So education, work, and peace. And education. So we saw a big hole in the community where young people were being expelled from school. They had no alternative. The school district was able to wipe their hands of them, and I don't fault them. You're trying to teach a class of 30 people. You've got a group of 3 causing all the disruptions. What are they going to do? So we were able to start at our own school, OKO Education, and what we do is we provide pathways for youth who are expelled, they can't go in person. We give them remote learning. We have a certified school teacher run the program. We currently have 40 people actively in that program. We have an average GPA with these young people of, it's hard to believe, over 3.5. We have 30, but now we're actually at 40 since this went. GPA of 3.5. We are getting credits, and what we found is that by implementing our program that includes life skills, by finding out what is going on, what is it that's stopping them from being successful, working with them, with our advocates, getting to know them. These young people, they aren't dumb, and you will see that in how some of the things they're able to do outside of our normal system to make a living, and we're trying to teach them to apply it within the system. At OKO Education, we're also the only not-for-profit certified in the state of Illinois to provide a driver's education program. There's a huge need for young people who do not know how, or were never taught to drive a car, and it was shocking to me, but a number of adults in our community who drive don't have their driver's license. So we provide this service, we provide it free. The teachers that were brought in by the Decatur Public School District that we brought in for a 5-year contract from other countries, I'm very happy to report we are working with each of them to get them certified so they can drive, teaching them how to obey the laws of the road. Okay, it'll work. So basically we said, okay, if we're educating them, how can we teach them to hold a job? Well, the easy thing to do is they go apply at McDonald's, we give them a job. When you live in a world of constant chaos and you've never been taught the expectations of you when you go into a public setting, you're just not able to step in there and be successful. We've seen it time and time again. So rather than keep banging our head against a wall, taking them to the same positions, getting the same calls, we started our own work programs. We have 3 programs now: OKO Green, OKO Next, OKO Clean. I'll touch on them briefly. OKO Green is a lawn mowing and landscaping service. We employ 10 to 15. It's been young men so far during the summer, open to young ladies. The feedback has been tremendous. One young man, age 15, said, OKO Green kept me out of the streets. And they accomplished stuff together. We took people from different sides of Decatur who typically would be fighting, heaven forbid, shooting each other, and they worked together. And in the beginning, we didn't know how it would go. Slowly, we got them together, and they bonded in a way that's phenomenal. And a program we started with our OKO Green program, we provide a free lawn care service to seniors on the Meals on Wheels program. I would love to expand that program. I think if we can partner with seniors, take our young people out, take care of their yards, give them, and we're also trying to teach them with this program some pride in their community. We're trying to show them that if you can make where you live look nicer, you can be proud of it when you go home. OKO Next is a program that we started where we're trying to build leaders. What we're trying to do with this is take young people who excel with leading their peers in the hopes that maybe one of them may soon join us to be an advocate, because the young people we're trying to reach, if you send me in to go talk to a 12-year-old who's teetering on joining a gang or not, I'm not going to have a lot of influence. I can talk as much as I want. If we can send a 18-year-old young man who's been in our programming, who can look the young person in the eye, tell them why they don't want to go down that path, we can make a real change. And that's what we're trying to build with OKO Next. And then our last one is a brand new program called OKO Clean. And we received funding for this from the Balance Foundation. It's a group of young girls being trained on how to professionally clean a home, a residence, or a business. Again, we plan to offer this free to seniors in and around the OKO community or people with young children to show them the health consequences related to having an unclean home. And just try to, again, let them take pride in what they're doing. These jobs are paid, we're able to provide income, we're also able to teach them life skills with investments, with savings. We put part of the money up that they earn all summer, and we give it to them in the fall. We've had great luck with it. And that leads us to why we're trying to do it all. We need peace. Our streets, there's too much violence. It hit home to us last summer when there was a shooting. My daughter worked at Old King's Orchard. We happened to be in Nashville, but she would have been right there sheltering in place where bullets were flying by. And I remember thinking, oh, my daughter was almost there. Thank God she wasn't. And then I thought, shame on me, because another young lady was there. And another group of young people were there. And it's not okay just because my daughter who lives in Mount Zion or your granddaughter who lives in Forsyth isn't impacted by this. These young people, their life matters too. And we've got to do something to stop the violence. So what we're doing, very excited about the partnership we have with the Decatur Police Department. They identify young people to us who have not yet gone the route of criminal behavior, but they're right there. And our cops know who they are. We go, we make contact with them, we work with them, we try to get them to go a different path. The first set of young people who enrolled, we're able to reach 60% of them. Police department was blown away by that because they can't get any contact with them. And we've kept those young people from committing crimes, and we're hoping we can get them to contribute. We work with over 100 youth engaged in our peace programming out of our Orchard Street and our main community center. So the bottom line is you're going to see a lot from Old King's Orchard. When I came in to the board in 2021, there's a lot of work we had to do. And I said, I'm not going out and talking to people until we get our house in order. We now have the house in order. We are now going to get funding. We are writing grants. We already bring in over $1 million a year now in grants to work with this population. And you got to give us time. We're going to get results. It's a long game. It's not a sprint. Let me give you Devon, Joyner, the man who actually leads a team that's doing all of this.
Unless you're tired, you can stay up here with me so we can answer questions.
Okay.
I think it's funny, this gentleman's outstanding. He got to do the hard work. You know, I know you would know what a fainting goat is. I'm a fainting goat, so after I talk for so long, I'll probably pass out. I get nervous. So Chris does an outstanding job. You know, just piggybacking on what he said, yeah, the 3.5 is kind of hard to believe, so it's actually 3.3.
Okay,
We
all
lost
right.
the straight A's too, but
We lost the straight A's.
we got them all where they should be. You know, based on everything Chris just said, the situation is trying to build confidence in a group of individuals that have no self-worth. And it takes time to build rapport. That's what we've become good at Old King's Orchard. We build a rapport. And if you can build a rapport with the folks that are hardest to reach, those folks that are easier to reach will be more apt to come in. And what we're trying to do is meld these groups together. Peer correction is probably one of the biggest tools. Kids are followers. They want to go to the areas where it's happening at. You know, so what we're trying to do is get these individuals out here to believe in our process. They're not going to be perfect in the beginning. It takes time. But once they understand that they can do it and that you have somebody in your court, then they're more apt to do what we ask them to do. So that's where the success is coming in. We try to build that confidence. I'm on the school board with Mr. Hale. And I think this next few years might be one of the best school boards that we've had in a long time because of cohesiveness. But also, the reason I brought that up is because we have people from the grassroots level that have seen these youth and understand what they're missing and understand what can be enhanced. And that's why individuals like us are on the board. I hope that I can bring what we're doing at Old King's Orchard to the district to show them folks are worth a second, third chance. You never know when someone's going to wake up and do better. You never know, and you can't put that conviction on them until they prove that there's no help for them. But you never know when you need that help. So that's what we try to do at Old King's Orchard. We have an excellent collaboration with the district, with the Regional Office of Education. We're trying to get everybody back in, and it started with COVID, and at least get their education. That's the biggest intervention in crime, is getting people to know that they can do something better than what they're unexpected to do. You know, and when you're in the streets, the mindset is I have nothing else. Well, confidence, love, and constantly giving them the tools based on their level. For too long, we have thought that everybody fits in a certain box. In these days and times, that's not working. So we have to be innovative in our thought. And that's what we've done. We try to figure out every resource possible to put someone on the next level where there's no excuse. And if you give them those resources and you give them those resources and they say no, that's on them. But one day they might say, yeah, they should have a door that is willing to open up for them. And that's what we're hoping Old King's Orchard to become.
I will say, Devon, I've worked in a lot of organizations, and I'm so committed to Old King's Orchard in a big part because of what Devon Joyner's doing. His vision is playing out, and again, you can expect to see a lot of big things, but it's excellent what he's done and the pulse he has on this community. Again, the part of the community that is too easy to drive by. So, are there any questions? Is that a normal thing? Great. Yeah, yes. Oh, great.
Do you have any contact with the parents?
Yes, ma'am, we do. That's one of our big efforts as well, is to perform wraparound. I can get an individual at my building for 2 hours, 8 hours, but then there's 24 in a day. So if they're at my building for 8 hours, there's 16 hours back to an environment that's going to be counterproductive to our efforts, and it's going to win. So we try to reach out to the environment that they're coming from and change that environment. You know, you have to try to figure out what causes the stress and the conflict in the homes that's leading to these actions. And like I said, building the report side of it, a lot of these kids don't understand value in life or the morals, and it's coming from how they were taught, because there's someone at home that does not understand that as well. There's some generational breakdowns, and that's what we're trying to figure out, how to make it to where in building community, folks have to figure out a way to help each other, look out for each other. So if you see someone that's not doing it properly, you try to offer that help up. But you have to offer it in a way to where they can keep their dignity, they can keep their self-esteem, which is very, very hard. Because if I have issues, I can't pay my power bill, and I come ask you for help, and then it feels like you're lashing back out to me like I'm incompetent or I'm ignorant, then it's going to make me withdraw. And that's what has occurred. People are withdrawing from trying to come together and help each other. It's on every level right now. We're so separated. So we do reach out to the homes. I guess that's the bottom line. We do try to teach the family. It takes a lot to build that confidence, but once you build that confidence, people are then willing to do something different. You know what I'm saying? But I think we'll just keep chipping at that rock as well.
Right.
Is Old King Orchard an actual designated area? I mean, are there boundaries? I realize you probably reach beyond that. But...
Yes, ma'am. It is a neighborhood, and recently we have been working with Kono to get reestablished in that organization. We work with the neighborhood leaders pretty much in any capacity that they need, but we need to figure out a way to get more involved with the neighborhood organizations in that manner. Yes, ma'am.
As a former CASA, I quickly became aware that when a kid gets expelled from high school, it's because they want to. They know how to work it.
Yes, sir.
That's what they want to do. And you've got to find out what the background is. You've got to work with the parents, and it's a struggle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We know as children need attention. And if you have kids that cannot perform academically or athletically, then they're going to perform one way or another. they need that reassurance. So the kids that don't do what is expected of them, then they're going to do a lot of what is unexpected of them, just to get that attention. And it plays out bad in the long run. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and if I could just add on that, the child or the teenager will know how to get expelled, but they don't understand the consequences of what that's going to mean 5 years, 10 years, and that's where taking that extra step to try to spend some time with them has really made them, I think, change that mindset a bit.
Yeah, could you take us through a typical day for one of your young men or women?
So we have multiple programs, and so with the education program, it runs 4 days a week. And since we have different groups involved, we run like an A and a B class to make sure we can keep people safe and separated. So they'll come in through that, and they'll do about 3 hours of online work, and then we have a life skills portion that we provide. And then we just try to have different things, like on Wednesdays and Mondays we'll do tutoring to catch up for actual grades that need more attention. Then we'll do a lot of interaction as far as we have a very diverse staff that come from many different backgrounds. So they'll share some of their own personal experience with these youth and allow them to talk. We have a podcast where we're perfecting at this point, because one of my biggest pushes is that you can't fix something if you don't know what's broken. So that, again, that goes back to outside of the structured programs that we have. We try to hear the kids out, get their perspective on what they are dealing with every day, their experiences, and try to brainstorm on how we change their mindset. So after the business, there's a lot of interactions that they don't get. That's where we're starting to build that background with them, that respect, that love, and that's how we do it.
Yeah, and so one thing I talked to a donor about was the organization is not the type where you're going to come to one of our buildings and see 40 or 50 kids playing basketball. I mean, quite frankly, if we brought this group in and that large a number, we're not entirely sure how that would work. But it's more individual interaction between the advocates and the young person. So one really big thing about a standard day is during our work program, our OKO Green will be in the fields learning how to operate machinery and then doing the machinery. Then on Fridays every week, we bring them in and we spend a full day paid teaching them life skills, teaching them how to do a resume, how to do mock interviews, how to go through an application process. I mean, anything you can think of, bring them lunch, just trying to get them to feel that they're doing good work and a good job. So I've been really pleased with how those programs have worked.
I spent many years teaching students and parenting classes. And the one thing that always stuck with me is I was doing a program one time on drug education in one of the schools, and one of the moms said, well, how come we don't know about this? How come you didn't tell us before? I said, I was here 2 weeks ago. Did you come to that training? And this is what she said. And probably 25 years later, I'll never forget it. She said, you have to remember that we are not ready until we're ready. And when we are ready, then you better be ready. And I'll never forget her saying that. That's some really deep stuff if you think about it.
Exactly, and it's to have that resource that she's talking about when she's ready and it's no longer there, then it's like fingers crossed that it'll surface again, but you never know. And that's what we try to make sure that we're trying, that we can do, is always be there.
Yeah, and I'll just add that sounds like a very entitled person in my mind in a lot of ways. And one thing that I know we talk about, and we talk to the advocates about, is that you take people as they come and you meet them with what they need. But then the goal, of course, is that 6 months later, they don't have that same mindset. And they understand that the world doesn't rotate around them and that they've got to actually participate in order to get what they need.
Yes, does your organization use volunteers, and if they do, in what capacity?
So when we do the food bank, we always use volunteers, you know, to help people get the food to their cars, just stock the racks. We have the same type of food bank that's here. We have racking and people can choose as it is wasting. And then in any other capacity needed, we would take volunteers. What I do know and understand is that, you know, volunteers are outstanding. You know, they're doing it from the bottom of their heart. When you start getting to some of the harder work though, it's, if people are struggling in their own daily lives, it's hard to get them to invest, you know. And in order to build a rapport, sometimes we gotta be here for individuals that, you know, we might not be truly invested ourselves. So, you know, I try to make sure that we can compensate folks in one way or another. That way we invest in them in their time. They're more apt to invest in our folks. But we would love volunteers in any manner. We've had a lot of teachers during the summertime come volunteer with the tutoring and help us out, you know, and I had to be quiet with around the district. They'd be like, well, do you have any more jobs? Say, no, not right now, but just keep us in mind. But yeah, we take volunteers in any capacity. Even if you want to teach the kids something.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a skill or anything and you'd like to show the kids through the summertime, then we could have them sit down and learn.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I've seen with the volunteers is during the summer program, when we have them there, like 40 hours a week or 25 to 35, then we can have a really structured, like I've had local businesses come in, talk to them about their business, like we had Bob Brady come in and talk to them about car detailing and things you can do. So all of those opportunities are there. I think, and we talked about looking at, is there a place for a mentoring aspect from an outside community person? And I would love to see that happen. I think we've got to make sure the young people are ready for it and that it makes sense, as opposed to just saying, here's a kid, here's a mentor, go. And so we're kind of sorting that out, because we do have a lot of people saying, hey, I'll come, how do I come? And I tell them, we're working on it.
I have a sort of a double question. Women, do you have a lot of women involved? Do you get them involved with the green program, for example, machinery? How about men in cleaning? Because there are men in cleaning, or men nurses. The other is, you made a remark that COVID changed things or affected stuff, and I'm wondering about that, because it certainly affected, for example, how many people are in this group.
So I'll go with the first. This is going to see I'll faint. To the first question, ma'am, yes, what we tried to do is, there wasn't a lot of young ladies that wanted to go out and get on lawnmowers, riding lawnmowers, et cetera, et cetera. So what we just tried to do was provide, you know, another opportunity for people that didn't want to be out into the sun. Something simple that not only could we teach them safety and being on time, punctuation, but also just get them to be acclimated to be in a job environment. So, you know, people can work on both sides of the narrative. And as many job opportunities that we can create, that doesn't take a lot of funding, but we can implement those elements, then we'll continue to create, you know, easy job opportunities and get into Caterpillar. We've had kids leave just this last summer, okay, go to Caterpillars, go to Menards, go to Casey's. So they learned the job skills with us, and then they were able to transfer them into the workplace by never having a job before. On the second question, we, would you pose it one more time? COVID. I just drew a blank. I'm kind of crazy from the war too. But with COVID, so when the kids were locked in the homes, they had to do the remote learning. So they weren't able to go into school for instruction. What we offered at Oak Kids at that time, we had internet. So there was a lot of homes that did not have the internet. They couldn't do remote learning well. We brought them into the building. And in that setting, the kids that were failing, they started to excel. So we knew remote learning would work. So what's happening is the district has partnered with us. We pretty much take all of the expel with or without a state. But then you have these special cases that kids just cannot function because of anxiety, because of what's happening around them. We've just partnered with Baby Talk. So all their young ladies that are getting pregnant and can't go back into school, we're taking all of their education. We just partnered with Sister Girls and Youth Build. So they have a lot of different educational paths that can't go in the traditional setting. We have kids from Mount Zion. We are going to MOU with Mount Zion schools for those kids. Some of them can come into the building, some of them need to do it from home. But we are monitoring all of them. And we have an advocate that goes to the homeschool kids that stay at home at least once a week to make sure that we meet all those needs. So coming from COVID, we knew that there's kids that will strive, not inside of the schools, and that maybe need isolation, don't have the social skills, and we had success. And it has transpired to the day with what's going on. We have a lot of success.
What's the racial makeup of your program?
Males and females or ethnicity?
Both.
So it's probably maybe 70s, maybe 75% males, 25%, 30% females. We have a lot of African American males and females. We do have Caucasian males and females. We have mixed ethnicity, some Hispanic. So we get folks from everywhere. With the Regional Office of Education, we're starting to get kids from the surrounding counties, but they are allowed to do it from home instead of trying to get all the way to the town, and we'll just monitor them weekly. So yeah, it's diverse.
Charles, last question. One more question.
How successful are you at recruiting staff for your programs? Is it a pretty easy lick to get the people that you want, need to do the job?
Yeah, it's not that bad. As long as we have the funding, there are people that want to work. I try to explain people with it by their talent. You know, you have people that are good at certain things, you know, and with this job, your heart really has to be in it, you know, because there's going to be bad days. We've lost kids. We've lost multiple kids, you know, that really were trying to do something different. The streets just didn't want to let them go, you know, and that it's rough, you know, but the phone rings Monday through Sunday, all hours, you know, so we try to be available as much as possible.
And if I could just add on that quickly, the staff we have, from what I'm seeing from the outside in, they're individuals who left higher paying jobs at large companies like ADM, who said, I want to give back. This is, you know, I was part of this. The leader of our peace program, an advocate named Turk, he's from the south side of Chicago, was in a gang, was not incarcerated. He was a supervisor at ADM making double the pay, better benefits. And I remember he was just like, I feel I need to give back. So we're very fortunate that it seems to me the people we get aren't people just trying to get a job, but they feel like they can offer something. Yeah, of course.
Thank you for your time this morning. Thank you for bringing us up to date on OKO, and thank you for everything you're doing for the community. We have this certificate of appreciation. Thank you. Helping us today. And our world famous OK. Thank you very much.
Okay, we got a very special time today with Kevin Hale come up to the front of the podium here, and Marty Williams. Marty Williams is a sponsor for our new member, Kevin Hale. So we appreciate Marty bringing him into the club. And if Devon, would you want to say a few words about yourself? Not really. Not really, huh? No, I can't believe that.
You're handing me a mic? Okay. That could be a problem. I want to thank everybody in here for all the hard work you do for this community. First of all, I was proud to be asked. Second of all, I'm proud to be here. And third, I hope I made you proud. Thank you for accepting me and having me. God bless you all.
All right, Kevin, we've got our little ceremony here that your sponsor will be your club member, familiarizing you about meetings, events, activities, and you can direct questions to him about the club or to the president or secretary. I want to take a few moments to reflect on the 6 objects of Kiwanis, which serve as our guiding principles of the organization and offer each of us a framework within which to fulfill the obligations that we have in our daily lives. First, to give primacy to the human and spiritual rather than to the material values of life. To encourage the daily living of the Golden Rule in all human relations. To promote the adoption and the application of higher social, business, and professional standards. To develop by action and example more intelligent, aggressive, and serviceable citizenship. And to provide through Kiwanis clubs a practical means to form enduring friendships, to render altruistic service, and to build better communities. And lastly, to cooperate in creating and maintaining that sound opinion and high idealism which makes possible the increase of righteousness, justice, patriotism, and goodwill. Having indicated a desire to become an active member of this club, and having been approved by the board of directors, do you agree to embrace the objects of Kiwanis as guidelines for your daily living?
Every single one, sir.
Okay. We welcome you then to Golden K Kiwanis Club of Decatur, and as a way of symbolizing the sharing of the K in Kiwanis, your sponsor will present you with your K pin.
And on behalf of the entire club, we welcome you to our family.
Thank you.
Hold on, can I pose?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks for getting here.
Okay, we got another special moment. I think Kathy Seebach, you have a presentation also?
As Golden K, I would like to recognize this person for the Quanting of the Month for the month of December. This person has provided dedication and volunteer service to Golden K for activities that include working on the Decatur Public Library History Room, and for the month of December, he did a lot of work for the Toys for Tots. And at this time, I'd like to present this award to Pat Riley.
I want to thank everybody for their help with the Toys for Tots. I hadn't got around to it yet, so I thought I'd do that.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Before I give you the word today, I want to tell you that I'm going to do it a little bit differently today. Because I'm going to give you the word, but I'm also going to use it in a sentence. All right, to give you some context for it, okay? So, Gary, we're ready? Today's word is yaffle. Yaffle. All right, John's wife told him as long as he had the odor of yaffle, he was not coming in the house. No. Oh my. Is that intimidating? Smells bad, yeah.
Would that be the neighborhood skunk?
Be the what?
Neighborhood skunk?
No, that's not the name of the stuff.
The barnyard smell?
That's a good try, but it's not it.
Just if I have much.
Here's one. Is a waffle something you put Europe on?
I don't think you'd want to do that.
Okay. I'm always into food.
My.
Is it the name for excrement for a certain animal?
No, it's not. All right, I guess to give it to you this week. The offal is an armload of dead fish. So that's why she wouldn't let him in the house. All right. Linda, you ready with the attendance today?
Sure. Today we have 50 members in attendance with 2 wonderful guest speakers for a total of 52.
Oh, great, thank you. Thank you. I also want to thank all of you. We've had 38 people do the survey, which is great. We've got another week, so if you haven't done it yet, you still got time to do it. You know, the data is pretty impressive. So keep at it. Let's get everybody on there. Kathy, you got a health report?
At this time, I do not have a health report.
Okay. All right. And birthdays and anniversaries.
Yeah, birthdays and anniversaries from January 25th through the 31st. We do have a couple birthdays. On the 26th, Cheryl Boff. She's just a little older than I am. On the 30th, Mike Hager. He'll be 82. Let's sing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God bless you. Happy birthday to you.
Anniversaries. None. Okay, quote from Bob Hope. The best thing about getting old is it takes a long time to get there.
announcements. Dan?
Yes, I still have a few Charity Mania tickets left. And the St. Teresa Key Club is moving to a winter formal from the February 7th to the 21st due to some conflicts. And they're going to ask us to maybe bring some stuff to help with the dance, and I'll let you know a little bit later.
Okay, very good. Susan Rahal.
Yes, good morning. I have several items. Tuesday, the 27th, we'll be serving food at Good Samaritan Inn. I have a fairly good list of volunteers over there. If you don't remember if you volunteered or not, check the list over on the table. The second one is Sunday, February 8th, and that's our day to serve the ladies and children that are homeless and take advantage of the facilities at the Carriage House. And I could use a couple more people donating towards that effort. The main meal will be chicken and noodles, and we have a wonderful chocolate dessert coming, so we'll need a couple more things, so let me know. And the last one is the trauma dolls. I have material and stuffing if you're interested in that. If not, then be sure to mark your calendar for Tuesday, February 17th. We'll be meeting at the Police Benevolent Hall, which is on Fairview Avenue south of Milliken. And it will be there anytime between 8 and 1, and we'll serve a wonderful lunch. And you can help draw the patterns, cut the patterns, bring your sewing machine and sew the dolls, stuff the dolls, hand sew the dolls, eat, and talk and be merry. So join us in one of those, please.
I'm assuming that someone's not allowed to come and just eat.
You'd be surprised, but we'll put you to work.
Okay, all right.
There'll be something there you can
Okay.
You forgot me, I think.
Okay.
I just want to remind everyone that there will be KISS at Franklin Grove, and that stands for Kids Invite Someone Special, and that will be February the 12th from 7:45 until 11 o'clock. You can come for a half hour, you can come for an hour, or you can come for the whole time. I will have a sign-up sheet next week. I thought we were going to be able to help people with the survey today, so I did not bring that information. And Kyle Karsten called me yesterday and asked that I would read something to the Golden K. He said, I am attaching the event flyer that has both volunteer and donation information. I think a number of the active members of Golden K would have a fun evening, especially want to invite some of them to consider being a one-on-one buddy for the event. They would shadow their special guest all night. Volunteers will need to sign up. Background checks are part of the process, along with the training that would add a comfort level for the volunteers as well. And the event is Friday, February 13th at GT Church. And I have some flyers if you would like to go or if you would like to donate. So if you would like any of this, see me after the meeting.
Okay, Paula?
I want to give a big shout out to Jackie and Steve. I got an opportunity to get a large amount of lids that are in pretty darn good shape. And they graciously have hosted and are fostering some of those lids until we can get to them. Which leads me to tomorrow, there is a lid sorting. So the more that we can get done tomorrow, the faster we can get the lids out of Jackie and Steve's hair. It'll be at the zoo in our regular room from 9 until noon. If anybody wants to come early, we have early bird lid sorting at 8:30. And again, just want to thank each and every one of you that have either brought lids, have come to help sort lids, clean lids, bag lids, go get benches. You know, it's definitely a team effort, and this program would have gone belly up if it wasn't for the Golden K. Gone belly up many years ago if it wasn't for the Golden K. So thank you all very much for your help with that and the flip tab collection for the Ronald McDonald House. Oh, and the support for the 9/11 Memorial. Thank you.
Just a quick note, since we weren't able to place a library at the desk, we're in need of a location. If you ever think of any place where we can put our library that we have built and ready to go, we'd appreciate it. But just get in touch with me if you would.
All right, I think Jerry Phelps is next. Got a mic for him.
Two weeks ago, I had the story, and I think I tried to get cute with that story and use the word of the day, which was centages. Is that right, Dick?
Yeah.
Okay, and that meant they use it the centages posterior. So that's, I think, other terms would be fat ass or lard butt. But anyway, in the story, I was talking about a blind man, and his dog peed on the leg, and he kept feeding him a treat. And that's because he wanted to find his centagus posterior, so he knew where the mouth was, so he knew that the posterior was at the opposite end, so he could kick him in it. So for those of you who left here confused, that should clear it up.
All right, Linda?
On your tables, I put some sheets this morning and an ink pen. It says information sheet on it, and I want to explain it very quickly. Karen does a masterful job collecting hours, but this new Engage system requires me to report things differently. So I put an example there. Well, and another thing that Dick Virgin pointed out to me, not all of you understand that hours you turn in aren't just for service projects. We have 3 categories: community service, like Sunday school; administrative, like my life; and I forget the other one. Oh yeah, children, how could I forget that? Been a rough morning. So, I need to know what you do, and I will tell you why. I used an example, Good Samaritan. There's some people that do that every month and report it, and I can figure that out. But all I need to know, if I have the names of like 6 or 7 people that do that, all I need is to be able to record 7 people. I don't care who does it and how many hours they spend. Another example, I was talking to Cheryl this morning, Franklin Grove. I know people volunteer in the classroom. I don't know who you are. I'm thrilled to death you do that. But I don't know how many people. There could be 5 people, there could be 10 people. I need to know if you volunteer in the classroom monthly, about how many hours you spend. It'll be an estimate, it doesn't have to be exact. And about how many kids you're taking care of or dealing with or working with in the classroom. Am I making sense? Okay, good. Now special events like Boo at the Zoo, Cheryl will give me her sign-up sheet. I'll know who did that. I know about how many hours they spent because we're all there. And she gets a total like 356 kids. I do that. Mike Hager always gives me his sign-up sheet for the Project Linus, Make a Blanket Day. I don't know how many people are on it, but I know some set up and some sew and whatever. And if they make 1,000 blankets, I credit us with serving 1,000 kids. You don't have to guess how many kids. So there's special events, and then there's things that you do every month. Susan with her Dove projects. I need to know that information, so if you would put it down on this sheet, I will collect them. Paula, you have a question? Oh, okay. Are there any questions? Right now, it takes me about 4 hours to figure out how to do that. I work with the KISS method, keep it short and simple. If I have a cheat sheet, I can be done in 30 minutes. So help me. Question?
Well, my husband and I both do the sacking of the snacks, and that's 60 kids, but do we just take 30 or do we both put 60 down?
Put 60 down.
You can do it.
Yeah. Paula?
For the benches that I deliver to schools, do I estimate how many kids are gonna sit on for the duration?
You're always my delight. Yes, go right ahead.
The benches can last up to 1,000 years. And they're in session for 9 months.
Yeah, you'll get it. Salvation Army stuff. I can't think of anything else. My brain's gone. So this would really help me a lot. It gives me a starting point. Thank you.
All right. Tom? Okay, I just, regret to announce that Dave Sapp passed away on Wednesday, January 14th. He was 74 years old, and Dave was born on August 19th, 1951 in Decatur, Illinois, and the son of Donald Sapp and Wilma Sapp. And he married Karen Lee Wilson on October 4th, 1974 in Decatur. Dave served his community, his country in the United States Air Force during Vietnam. He served as county board chairman, was the county auditor for several years, and a very strong Democrat. He was a big history buff, especially about the Civil War. He was a member of the Civil War Roundtable, Stephen Decatur Masonic Lodge, number 979 in Warrensburg, and an avid reader and a diehard St. Louis Cardinals fan and a Chicago Bears fan. He especially was a very good husband, grandfather, and dad to his family. I didn't find in his obituary any funeral arrangements. He did have a request of a memorial to the American Lawn Association. So sorry to hear about his passing. Just wanted to make a last plug and reminder about this survey. We mentioned that a couple times today. We do have people standing by to help you fill that out after the meeting here, or if you, Mark Avery can help, and there's some others that will help. If you want to do it at home or you want to do it someplace else, we really want everybody to participate. So don't forget to do that.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I went online with my phone and I started filling it out, but for some reason I accidentally tapped something and I was halfway down, I was almost done, blanked out, and I had to start all over again. So I don't know whether that's something that can be remedied or not.
I would advise that you not do it on your phone.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I probably would do it on my computer.
Yeah, that works better. Okay. That in mind, we'll have the 50-50.
We had $74 in donations today, so 37 to admin, 37 to the pot, for a total of $136. Last three digits, 150.
Okay, no winner. Okay, happy jug. Who's happy?
I am very grateful to have lived to 81 years old on Monday. And so I am going to give the Golden Gate Kiwanis Foundation $100.
I'm happy that Kevin joined us, and I'm putting in a whole $1.
I'm gonna put in 5 for my beloved Indiana Hoosiers winning the national championship. And I also want part of this to say thank you to Old King's Orchard and the 2 gentlemen that came today and the hard work you're doing in the community. Thank you very much.
I have $1 for my grandson who auditioned and is a repeat performer for the film corps. He's also a beta player for the company that has given him 2 horns to test over the summer.
Mine was for the presentation today. It was so informative and sounds like you're really, really important and doing a good job.
Good.
Mine's for Kevin Hale and Indiana Hoosiers. Mine is because my husband can finally drive again after 6 weeks of having his right knee replaced. It's been kind of overwhelming, but let's put it that way. Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm putting in $1 for my granddaughter who is in Glenwood Chatham Titan Fever Show Choir and for dragging me all over the Midwest to watch her perform.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, we have our storyteller, John Dunn.
The best stories often are true. I was at a Notre Dame Navy football game a long time ago, and by the way, they were on World War II, all they were going to service. Notre Dame got out of business. They trained the naval officer candidates for 3 years on the campus, about 10,000 of them, and they probably repaid for that. And Notre Dame will play Navy and football until Navy decides to quit. So I was at a Navy football game, gosh, I don't know, probably 20 years ago, and as the half ended, some nuns came out on the field and led cheers. And all at once, the male candidates picked them up and raised them up, and their skirts came down over their head. They collected, oh my God, what is this? And it was the girl cheerleaders in a costume. So not a thing, but university did not approve of that, so, and I was watching it. That's it for today.
Okay, thank you, John. Okay, our speaker next week will be Leslie Raisby and Ashley Greenidge, and they are the executive director of the innovation programs at Decatur School District, and they will be talking about the Prep Academy, so should be very interesting. We are going to Kiwanis. We enjoy changing the world for the better by serving children and others. And we got one more item. Yes? No, never mind? Okay. We are adjourned.